just messing with y'all. How y'all doing? What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Kingdom Rock's Corner here at the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum. I am your host, Kingdom Rock of Illa, and something different is going to happen here tonight because we're doing an ode to National Poetry Month. And my elder, Dr. Groove, he's a spoken word artist, MC, funketeer, and he's been a great inspiration to me for a very long time. And he has stories that he talks about how he actually met Gwendolyn Brooks when he was a youngster. And I can't wait to get him in here on another episode of this show when we go at the end of the month that we're going to do another version of this. And on Saturday, we're going to actually have an open mic podcast in here. I mean, not open mic podcast, but an open mic poetry set. And that's going to be the first time we've done that at the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum. Now, I brought my brother Orion here because Orion has been an advocate for poetry as long as I've known him. And when he first came to the museum, he was like, hey, I'm a poet, I'm cold, I got books. And here they is, and he dropped these books in my hand. I was reading the books, and then he spit some stuff, and I was like, this brother cold. And then he came back the next year, and he was like, hey, did you know that poetry has a month? And I was like, no, poetry has a month? And he was like, yeah. And so 2 years ago, if y'all remember, we did a Ode to Poetry Month and we took a break last year. And we're back this year, and I brought Orion here again, and I'm going to bring Orion back next year and the year after that, and Orion's going to keep coming, and we're going to keep getting this together, and we're going to keep honoring poetry because I really believe that without me learning how to rhyme in my Dr. Seuss books and and me writing my name, and Rico is for reckless, and I is for intelligent, and C is for charismatic, and O is for omnipotent. You know, that's how I started writing poetry and writing rhymes. And I don't know how many other people started that way, but that's how I started. And so it's been rhyming and poetry go hand in hand with me, and it was a gift to me to give me expression. It was a tool that my mom passed down to me, and so if it wasn't for poetry, I wouldn't be an MC, and I wouldn't be here. So that's my ode to poetry. And so I brought some people here. Orion brought some people that I've never met, and I get a chance to get introduced to. And on Saturday here, we're going to have the open mic poetry set, and a few of these guys will be there in attendance, and one of them will be headlining, and I'm so excited. And so I want to introduce y'all, present to some, introduce to others, my brother Orion.
Thank you for having me. So, for me, it's like a mission in pushing the culture of and trying to promote the community of poetry. Poetry's done a lot for me. Okay. While I was in prison, I was writing a lot, and it helped me get through that. And I tell the story all the time that, like, even with my employment, I wouldn't have the job that I had. I probably wouldn't have got the first job that I had if it weren't for poetry. Literally, like, so when I got out, because in the joint they were giving you stimulus checks. Okay. So I wasn't going buying commissary and all that type of stuff. I knew I was getting out, so I was saving my stimulus checks and stuff like that. And I already had a plan. They're like, what you gonna do when you get out? I told them, I said, I'm gonna get published, and I'm gonna get my head tattooed, right? First thing I'm gonna do with my money when I get out. And so those were like my family. They like, you crazy, you ain't gonna be able to get a job. What you gonna do with your money? You need to be doing other things with your money. I'm like, no, I got this, right?
Faith.
And so then they were like, don't be telling them people when you go on a job interview that you got books and stuff like that. They don't want to hear that, right? And so anyway, but I knew that when I came in there, by me being formerly incarcerated, that they hadn't seen that 9 times out of 10, So once I was on my interview and I was able to sell my books to them on the interview, I knew I had the job because I literally sold myself. So I wasn't even worried about once I walked up out of there. And so that has opened a lot of doors for me. And then on the flip side, now through the work that I do, the poetry actually helps me get indoors, advocating doing nonviolence and reentry work. So it's worked both ways. It started out with poetry, and then now what happens is poetry actually helps elevate me in the work that I do out there in the community.
Great job.
And so I've been on a mission to try to push the culture. Obviously, hip hop, for me, hip hop influenced me, but also I've seen the influence of hip hop in poetry. Like now, like if you were to listen to poets back in the day, the Maya Angelou's, Nikki Giovanni's and so forth, right? It's totally different. Like now, sometimes you might not even be able to tell the difference because poets use bars now.
For sure.
And it almost sounds like URL or smack at times, right? Because you can see the heavy influence that hip hop has in poetry. So I don't even think that, to me, there really is no separation. And the only difference is the meter. The meter for poetry is the beat. So instead of in simplifying it, the syllable count is the metrical structure of a conventional poem. It's just the beat is the meter. Okay. And that's it. And that's why rap is the most disseminated form of poetry in the world right now. Why? Because of the beat, but also, and there's a book, a guy talks about this, called Book of Rhymes. His name Adam Bradley. Dope book, right? I use that to teach out of. And he says that the reason why poetry is rap is the most disseminated form of poetry because of the beat, but also taking us back to like what you were saying when we were young, when we were children. What caught us? The rhyme. Dr. Seuss, nursery rhymes. People catch on to that more. So that's why rap is the most disseminated form of poetry. And hip hop is so important. But I wanted to bring, every time I try to come out, I try to bring out the poets that they're good, but they don't necessarily get the recognition yet, right? Introducing them to a new crowd of people. So that's why I wanted to have these poets come down here.
All righty. Let's introduce them.
All right.
Ladies first.
I guess so. She probably was going to make me anyway. So this is,
you. Wow.
Yeah. This is She.Unapologetic. She's a dope poet, and I'm going to let her talk about the work that she's been doing, how long she's been doing it.
Well, yeah. First of all, thank you for bringing me here. And thank you for having me, Kingdom. This is an amazing, incredible space. I could have cried when I walked through the door. It just do something to me. And even though I might look young, okay, I know a little something, and I done seen some things, right? Okay. And my mama was born and raised here, Southside 87th and Halsted, and so the stories that my people, my mama, my daddy, my aunties, my uncles, the stories they carry have been passed down to me, and so I hold the traditions of hip hop very, very, very near and dear to my heart. But I'm an educator by day. I teach middle school English.
All righty. Thank you for your service.
My God.
Because I couldn't do it.
Look, I can't do it most days either.
I was a paralegal. I mean, not a paralegal. I was a paraprofessional.
Ooh.
And you get the one-on-ones.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, that ran me up out of there.
Bless you.
That ran me up out of there.
We need y'all. We can't do it without y'all. My God, today. But yeah, by day, that's what I do. But when I'm not doing that, I'm writing. And I've been doing that ever since I was a little girl. Just storytelling has always been my thing. No matter if it was, essays and stories or poems or songs and music. I just love telling stories and hearing stories. And that was the thing that drew me to poetry and to hip hop, was that you could say so much while saying so little. All of the hidden messages, it is very reminiscent of the culture that our people created when we got here. Not being able to just be outspoken and say everything we always wanted to say. We had to create these stories and create these narratives, and share these hidden messages through our words, through our arts, through the beats, through the rhythms, through the way that we dance, through the way that we wore our hair, through the way that we dressed. Everything said something. And that is like literally what I embody, is being your full self and bringing those stories to every space that you're in. So I do poems and I sing and I do all of the things. So yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Of course.
Now, brother Anye,
Hey.
to my right. Now,
How y'all doing? I go by the name of Anye, Andre Benachet, Miguel Davenport. Everybody know me as Brother Word. I'm very passionate about words.
hold on, brother.
That was hip
That was
hop
a-
to have all the names.
Wait. We ain't gonna skip over that over here, brother. Names is important around here.
Sure.
Now, slow it down and give it to me one more time.
My name is Anye, Andre Benachet, Miguel Davenport. But everybody call me Brother Word.
Brother Word. All right, brother Word. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Because I know the power in words. More science say words kill, heal, and destroy. I'm always on the healing aspect with my words because I want to heal. I really want to heal. I'm a returning citizen. I did 20 years in prison. And I feel like once I got out, it was just a second chance at life. I don't really call myself a poet. I call myself an expressionist because I express myself in so many ways. I may write a book. I may tell a story. It may be a poem. It may be a Bible study. But it's always uplifting and value adding. I really believe that's the main thing behind me telling poems. Or whatever, any way that I'm expressing myself, my whole goal is to entertain, educate, and invoke. If I can do one of them 3 things, then I've done my job.
Wow, man. You picked some winners here today, huh?
Always, man.
Wow. So, Miss She.Unapologetic,
Yes.
where did the name come from?
So long story short, as a young black girl growing up on the south side of Chicago, there's a lot of do's and don'ts. There are a lot of rules. There are a lot of people you have to please. And over time, you find yourself apologizing for things you're not really sorry for. I'm not sorry for the way that I'm shaped. I'm not sorry for the way that I look. I'm not sorry for how intelligent I am and how that might have been mistaken as being fast or being too grown. And by the time I got grown, I got tired of apologizing to people for things I shouldn't have to apologize for. And so I decided that for the rest of my life, I would be 100% me without apology. And you can love it or you can hate it, but you're going to get it either way.
All righty. And, okay, you mentioned your mom from the south side.
Mm-hmm.
You said 87. I've heard Foster Park come out your mouth a couple of times in your poetry.
Yes, you have.
So I know where you're coming from.
Uh-huh.
What high school did you go to?
Now, I went to the Gwendolyn Brooks College Preparatory Academy, over in Roseland.
All right.
All right. Yeah, so used to be Mendel once upon a time. I don't know what that is. That's my mom and them.
Well, no, because Mendel was of all boys.
Well,
school.
yeah, that was her time.
Okay, that was her time.
She used to go to the parties. That's
Okay,
what she told me.
For sure. Okay, all right.
And so, yeah, by the time I got there, it was Brooks. So that's where I went to high school. But my brother went to CVS, my uncle went to CVS, my auntie went to Simeon, my mama went to Julian. That's us.
See, in my mind, I'm gang banging right now. I'm like,
okay.
They was some of them, and they was some of them.
Okay, my
and
daddy
right
was from Stone Terrace. That's all I'm gonna say.
See, boy, I'm telling you, boy, I know it. The city, boy, I love the city.
My God.
Oh, now, okay, Brother Anye.
Yes,
Now, see, the spirit is taking me somewhere real quick. And I don't know how to address it. So I'm going to take my time. The two of you mentioned, the two brothers here, Orion and Anye, y'all mentioned reentry. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you grew up at? Where'd you grow up at?
I'm from Falls Park.
Foster Park. And where did you grow up at?
I'm from Chatham Avalon.
Avalon. Okay. And high school?
I went to Harper
You went to Harper?
and
I
Hurst.
kept getting kicked out. I got kicked out of semi-high, and then I ended up going to high school in Milwaukee. So.
Okay. And you went to Harper and Hurst.
Hurst.
Okay. All right. Where did the path that led you to incarceration, where did that start for you at?
My neighborhood.
Okay.
My neighborhood.
And you couldn't find an ink pen?
I was doing that too, but still,
You still.
you know, still was part of it. You know.
Okay. And you?
Well, me, I like to say, well, you know, a lot of people, my son, I remember when I was in prison, my son wrote me one day and he told me he said he a bad guy. And I said, who told you that? And the reason why I was so destructive about that is because people used to always say that I was a bad guy, but I don't ever think I was a bad guy. I was just willing to go further than everybody else.
Okay. Okay. All right. And your age?
I'm 55 now.
And you?
I'm 45.
45. 55, 45. I'm 53. I ain't gonna ask you how old you are, sister.
That's all right.
I ain't gonna ask you because they say we ain't supposed to ask women.
That's all right.
Okay. All right.
Hey, can I say this though?
Yeah.
Apart from popular belief, prison was the best thing that ever happened to me. I say that because I was out here before I went to prison. You know, I was strung out on drugs. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have no purpose. And when I went to prison, I made up in my mind that I wasn't gonna do the time. I wasn't gonna let the time do me. I was gonna do the time. And so I first thing I did was I got to know me. Because there's a lot of people out here right now running around and they don't even know themselves.
Yeah.
So prison allowed me to get to know me, what I like, what I don't like, what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, what I can do, what I can't do. And so when I came out, it was just like it prepared me for the road that I'm in now. And had I not went to prison, I honestly and truthfully believe I would be dead. So it rescued me more than it arrested me.
Say that again?
It rescued me more than it arrested me. I went in prison as a butterfly. I went in prison as a caterpillar. And it was my cocoon. And men don't use this analysis, but I came out a butterfly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Powerful.
Thank you.
Got a book about it.
Want to read
Did. Wrote a book about it. Well, I wrote 18 books while I was in prison.
How long?
Writing was, I was there for 20 years. Writing was my antidote. It was my comfort zone. So I wrote everything. I wrote grievances. I wrote books. I wrote poems. That's why I call myself an expressionist. I wrote movies. I was a Bible teacher. I was a literacy teacher. I was a Spanish teacher. I was learning Spanish. I did the time. I did not want the time to do me. I did not want to do 20 years and come out and be uneducated or unpurposeful or, you know.
What's the name of your book?
The name of my book is I Once Was Blind, But Now I See. And it talks about how I entered prison at the age of 28 and what I seen then and how I came out at 48 and what I see now.
Wow.
Now that's
Powerful.
like, yeah, because like I remember being in high school which was my prison. No, I'm not trying to demean what y'all went through, but just the fact that the time that I went to high school, it was a real critical switch in the universe. It's like when I was in high school, we were playing with Tandy computers and what is it? The Texas Instruments, and it was some bullshit computers, basically what I'm saying. And the time that I graduated from high school and then the time that I actually went into college, computers had changed. And I can imagine like the language had changed in the computers, and what I was able to do was only surface compared to what I was doing in high school, compared to what they had me doing now with Windows, and how simplified that was and how cookie cutter that was. And so I know about that. And I remember not having a computer in the projects I remember not having a computer in Inglewood because there were no towers. No internet towers in Inglewood at a point, and so I couldn't get internet. Like, I could afford a computer, but it did me no good to have it because I couldn't get on the internet. And so I mean, like, this is shit that I'm dealing with in the world. And so for a brother like you to come out the world, and then we got a damn Motorola cell phone downstairs with the box. Like, that came in a bag downstairs, and to us being able to walk around with all this shit in your hand in your pocket now, I can understand the purpose of that book, bro. Yeah, and that's something that you can't get back. But the fact that you took power of it is great, and I encourage some of these shorties and youngsters and some of you parents that might be watching, because my demographics don't speak to the kids, and it would take one of y'all to share my stream with your kids. Hint, hint, hint. Share the stream with your kids, so they might catch a jewel out of this. Yeah. I didn't want to go down that path. I mean, like, I did, because I think it's important to talk about, because it's stuff that kids, I mean, we don't talk about. I can't talk about it because I've never been, and so I just say I was a better crook than y'all. No.
And you know what? Honestly and truthfully, though, and a good reason why we should talk about it, because I was reading some statistics, and they say by 2025, it's gonna cost the state of Illinois $3 billion for recidivism. And recidivism is guys going back to prison. Going back to prison. It's gonna cost us $3 billion. Just think if we could home in on that and stop that and divert that $3 billion to something else.
Right now, a lot of people don't know this right now, but Pritzker is closing Stateville.
For real?
Yeah. They just had a town hall yesterday about closing Stateville, and he's about to spend $900 million to build some more prisons, though. So they're gonna close Stateville. They already been talking. He's already declared that they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was run down for years.
Yeah. No, they got a water issue. Yeah. But the thing about when we talk about education, right? The thing about Stateville is because of the proximity to Chicago, it allowed them to be able to have the university without walls, where guys are attaining their bachelor's degree, because in those prisons that are in central and southern Illinois, they don't have as many higher ed isn't as accessible to them. So that was the benefit of having Stateville, and that was one of the main reasons why they wanted to keep Stateville open, is because if they could have access to resources. And then when you think about the demographic here, as opposed to down in the red parts of Illinois, where those other prisons are, they're not going to really care about trying to rehabilitate and people so that they can be productive members of society. So that was the thing about having Stateville.
See, that's another soapbox of mine, is the fact that this prison, the education to prison pipeline that turned into the rap industry to prison pipeline, and the meeting to kill hip hop. Like, I believe that I know some people that went to the meeting, so they can tell me that it was a rumor, that it was fake and false and all that, and I can tell you that it wasn't. I can tell you that Clear Channel invest in prisons. I can tell you that Jam Productions.
And we need to have, so that's what we need to have that, though. We need to have that discussion because, July, Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Month, but also July 3rd is actually Independence Day for returning citizens every year. So, like, around that time, we probably should be having that conversation about how hip hop has the, obviously the positive aspects of hip hop, but also how it has negatively impacted the community when we talk about certain sectors or subgenres, right?
Yeah.
And pertaining to the prison industrial complex.
Me and my brother Determination, he go by the name of D. Nilla also, we had this conversation damn near every day about how our rap leaders failed us or sent us off. And then don't be the ones that you think I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, KRS-One, teacher. First thing I remember from him was Soft Bronx, and he was a thug. Like, you know what I mean? MC Light told us that she needed a roughneck. What would that make dudes do if they want a girl? They become roughnecks. You know what I mean? It's like little bitty gentle pushes into this cosmos that happens. Like, it's little bitty nudges. Like, somebody will bump you off the road and it'll turn into this big ass shithole.
It's convoluted, though.
I want to ask her because she's an educator.
Hey, look, that's everything.
I want to ask her, right? What's what is her opinion about some of this when we talking about the school to prison pipeline, as it pertains to the youth that she's teaching right now, and even hip hop now, right?
Look, there's so much running through my mind as y'all talk, because it is so convoluted. Hip hop ain't just about the music; it's a whole entire culture. It's the way we raise our children. It's the way that we do church. It's the way that we do community organizing. It's the way that we educate as a black woman in black classrooms. Hip hop is just a natural part of what I do, right? If I'm teaching my kids how to write and I'm trying to teach alliteration, I could pull Shakespeare. I could pull, Robert Brown. I got a degree in English. I could pull whoever I want to pull. But I'm going to pull the artist that they think is hot.
Right.
Whoever's hot right now. Because they are more likely to understand the concept of whatever skill I'm trying to teach if I can connect it to something that they actually care about. And so with that being said, I feel like there are two sides to it. Malcolm X, who is, in some ways, I would say a godfather of hip hop, as far as the ideology, hip hop as a culture, as far as the ideology of us owning our own thing, having our own thing, reclaiming ourselves and our identity, and his influence on the Black Panther Party, and his influence on just early grassroots organizations, Nation of Islam, which then eventually becomes BDs and GDs and all this other stuff. And in those circles, we get access to all of the wonderful things that Chicago hip hop is specifically. I think that when MC Light says I want a roughneck, she says I want a man who's going to protect me and my community. I don't think it's necessarily about killing whoever and whatever, and like that's what I think. Now, when we talk about school to prison pipeline, I think there's this other side of it, and it's as much as we try to run away from it, and these school systems try to create these ideas and say, oh, we're anti-racist, and all of these. No, it's all about compliance and following in line. And you said yourself, the high school was a prison for you. It's supposed to be that way. For some reason, whoever is up here, right, they talk to the people down here. And these people down here, my principals and network leaders, talk to us teachers. And we all have to fall in line. And what that ends up looking like is, get in line, shut up, stay still, don't talk, don't be an active black boy, don't move your body, don't open your mouth, don't be yourself. Be everything except what you were born to be. And so you're going to naturally buck against that. You're a boy. And I did a podcast the other day on colorism, and I talked about how the research shows that the darker the student is, the more negatively they interpret their choices and actions. On top of being a boy with testosterone in a space where education is mostly run by women. Mm-hmm. Women who are not always educated, and especially for a long time, especially back when y'all were in middle school, high school, white women. People who were not skilled and educated in the ways of boys.
Slow down. I ain't that old.
I'm not saying you didn't have any black teachers. I'm not saying that. But the statistics, the facts were the facts.
Okay.
Right? 30 years ago, the overwhelming majority of teachers was white women who don't feel safe in the presence of black boys who move too much. And so now we're going to throw him in a special ed class. We're going to recommend him for medication, ADHD, whatever. And when none of that can put the spirit that God gave him in surrender, now he's suspended over and over again, kicked out of school.
Hanging with us.
And now he in the streets. Because what else he got to do? Who else going to lead him? Who else going to feed him? Who else going to protect him? Who else going to guide him? Who else going to make him feel safe? And I told one of my students the other day, I said, you are so bright and so talented. I know this boy robbed another one of my students at gunpoint. I said, you are so bright and you are so talented. And them dudes I see you kicking it with on 71st Street, the only reason they got you out here doing this is because it's a misdemeanor for you. And it's another strike for them. If you let them use you, you're going to die. And they're going to replace you.
And that's the same spirit you had because you said, what? I wasn't
going to let the time do me.
No, not the time part. The part about you not being bad, but you would do.
I wasn't bad. I was just willing to go further than everybody else.
You were just willing to go further than everybody else.
The boy is sweet as pie.
And that's what happens with these kids.
And if somebody knows how to love them, got a little bit extra, there are people. And it has to be people in these classrooms. For every step you were willing to go, we had that much more patience. We had that much more understanding. So that there has to be an outnumbering of people in these schools and in these classrooms who are willing to say, I know he did that, but that's not all he is. I know she did that, but that's not all she is. Yeah. Right? I'm looking at you, and I know for a fact you snatched that little boy chain and beat up his 6-year-old sister. But that ain't all you are. And that ain't all you have to be. Right. And if you have more people in the classroom like that, then you have people, girl, give up on him. He ain't going to be nothing no way. Girl, let me call his mama because he need to go home. He need to get up out of here. We can't deal with him. We shouldn't have to deal with him. This is what I deal with every day as an educator in my black school with black teachers, dealing with black kids. Yeah. Because the people above us are putting pressure on us to perform in ways that are not native to who we are as a people. Right. And so there is a growing movement of black people who are looking to open their own schools, homeschool co-ops, to unschool children.
Right, to unlearn.
To unlearn.
They're looking for that critical thinking
category. Yes. We are trying to recreate education that is for us. We are going to getting doctorate degrees so that we can have more conversations at higher levels, get the funding, get the grants, get all the support that we can to take back our education. Because what y'all put in this system, that don't even work for y'all. That don't even work for them. The poorest of them. They in jail too out in Iowa. They in jail too out in Idaho. So it's not working for y'all. It was definitely never meant to work for us. And so now that's dead.
It's working. It's doing
its job. It's doing what they wanted to do.
That's the point.
Ain't changed in 100 years.
Ain't changed in 100 years. They put a new name on the old shit.
Never changed.
Excuse my French.
And speaking on that, actually, because we're not that far from the Carruthers Center for Inner City Study. Jacob Carruthers. A lot of people don't know about Baba Jacob, but he talked about that intellectual warfare many years ago, right? That was waged on our community, and this is where we are right now. And and the problem is that what I see, because with the work that I do, teaching Kingian nonviolence, most of the people that I actually teach are adults, right? And so I actually put this in one of my poems, but Frederick Douglass said that it is easier to build strong children than to prepare broken men.
Amen.
And so so what I deal with are those broken adults, right? Because a lot of people say, hey, let's just start with the children, you know, and a lot of times they want to say, you know, forget the parents that might be strung out, or forget those guys that are locked up or whatever. But because what's going to happen is they're going to undo everything that you've tried to build up in those children once they go home. Because I see it. I see it out in the suburbs where I live, like in the Harveys and Daltons and Riverdale, and I see the behavior that the parents just demonstrate in front of the children, that they just, you know, they follow it.
Yep.
Yeah, because this is something that's learned, whether they told to do it or not. This is what they see.
That's a fact.
You know.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
So,
Absolutely.
okay, now that we talked about the world and the ills of the world, let's talk about skills a little bit.
All right.
Okay, how long you been rhyming? How long you been writing your poetry?
Officially since I was 9 years old. So
9 years old.
yeah,
And
that's over 20 years. I'm gonna
who
say that.
encouraged you?
So I'm a product of the Black church. Amen.
Amen.
So I would say being in the Black church, and the Black church that I grew up in,
What church was that? Go ahead.
Salem Baptist Church of Chicago,
Okay.
under the leadership of then Reverend James T. Meeks, now Charlie Edward Dates.
Okay.
That was a very, very safe space for me to explore my creativity. It gave me opportunities as a writer, as a performer, as a creator that a lot of Black children don't get. By the time I was 14, we were running our own church, 1,000 kids in a sanctuary, and the only adult in there is maybe like the youth pastor and the youth worship leader, but everybody else in there, the cameraman kids, the ushers kids, the people, you know, running the stage, and the people doing like people singing praise and worship, the junior deacons, like we had our own thing. And so whatever it is I want to do, I can do, right? And I have the support and a team behind me who's helping me. But the first time I really got into more spoken word type poetry, it's probably like 12 or 13 years old at church. And I remember Mel Robb came to my church. Shout out to Mel Robb. And he was there for like a young adult night. And so my mother's only 20 years older than me. And so if I'm 12, my mom's like 32 or something like that. And I snuck in the room to quote unquote tell her something. And I heard Mel Robb spitting, and I ran to my mom. I said, Mama, I need his CD so bad, because he was selling CDs. Mama, please buy me his CD. And she bought it for me, and I listened to it over and over and over and over and over again until I knew every single word and every single pause and every single breath. And I started to write more and identify more with that style of performing. And so, yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And you, brother?
Man, I've been writing since I probably was. I write my first rap. I might have been about 8 or 9 or something like that when I started writing rap. But my father, he used to have these old ass poets and the watch prophets and all that, right?
For sure.
And so I used to sneak in the basement and listen to. I used to listen to those because my mother, she, even though my father wasn't with her anymore, she kept the records. I don't know how she kept the records, but she had the records. So I used to be in the basement. And I used to listen to them. And honestly, I used to think that I wasn't really into spoken word poetry like that. Because in my mind, I was like, these are just people that just can't rap good, so this is what they do. That was how I felt about poetry at first, honestly. Like, they just can't rap good, so this is what they do, right?
That's hilarious.
Audacity of you, bro.
that's how
You talking about last poets and skills got here, and then Nikki Giovanni, you
Yeah.
said they couldn't rap. Huh?
Yeah, I was like, they couldn't rap good. So
Oh
this
my
is what
God.
they,
That's
this
crazy.
is
They
what they
couldn't
ended up, they
keep
had
the
to
rhythm,
resort
huh?
to that, right? So yeah, and then one day, what happened was I was in the joint, and a guy heard me spitting some bars on the yard, 'cause we used to battle on the yard, and then he was like, "Hey man, you probably could be, you probably could write poetry." So I was like, "Yeah." He like, "You ever thought about it?" I was like, "Nah, not really." And so then, like maybe 2 days later, there was a guy, and he was like, "Hey man," just out of the blue, he's like, "Listen man, I just met this broad. I'm trying to bump him. Can you think you could write me a poem?" So I took it as a sign. So
That's crazy.
I went to the library, and I got anthologies on poetry,
Mhm.
and T.S. Eliot, Robert Frost, and all of that, and that's how I began writing. Just poetry. That was my my initiation into writing poetry.
Okay, so you went from a MC to a poet.
Yeah.
Now that's backwards for me.
Hmm.
How about you, brother?
I went from a comedian to
Okay.
a poet. Because I was doing comedy before I went to jail. I auditioned for A Living Colors. So I've always been able to know how to express myself, and I've always been able to know how to move a crowd. However, when I went to prison, after being in there for 20 years, life wasn't funny no more. It was serious. And that's when I started writing poems. But I'm an empath, period. I feel people. And I write what I feel. If I don't write what I feel, it's kind of like Jeremiah, the prophet. It burns in my bones. I got to get it out. I have to. But at the same time, I'm gonna share with you. I'm a wordsmith, but I'm not a presenter. You know what I mean? I can write it, but I'm not too good spitting it because I'm shy. I'm
Okay.
shy. So I write what I could write what I'm scared to say. Put it like that. So
Okay.
that's why I'm a poet.
Okay.
It gets me out of my comfort
Now
zone.
we gonna put you in that room. Now you ain't gonna be scared and nervous in that room, is you?
Hey, that man called me 5 minutes ago and I was here.
All right. I just want to make sure now.
That's it.
I mean, we done talked a lot
You better
now.
say that.
I want my 2 pieces out
I'm
you,
good.
and I want my piece out of you, and I want my piece out. Well, I can't say that to you because you're a woman. I can't say peace to you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, peace.
Okay,
I
yeah.
understand.
Yes.
I understand.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Brother Word.
No, I'm wondering if thinking you should. You going first?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
We can do that.
All right. So what I'm gonna do? I want to thank y'all, and I want y'all people, cause ain't nobody watching us right now. But I'm gonna share it a billion times on my Facebook pages, on my museum page, and Instagram and all that stuff, and maybe the replay value will come out. And I really hope they get to see y'all do y'all thing and enjoy it. I'm really hoping that people will come out Saturday at 6 o'clock. That's when the doors open. Showtime is about 7:30, 8 o'clock ish.
7:30.
7:30.
We got to do it at 7:30.
We can do it at 7. Hey, but okay, 7:30, and that's when we're gonna be rocking. Huh?
Orion said he got a bedtime. Y'all
Yeah,
can't have him out that late.
yeah. I got another show that
I
night
got
too.
a
so.
show the next day, man.
I got a show that night that-
all back to back, man. It's killing me this month.
Look, I'm trying to close a museum, and I got to do more promoting and events to close the museum so I can get a break. So that's the crazy part about me, because like we got you tonight, Saturday we got the poetry set, then it's a hip hop event that we got somewhere else, and then the 20th, Ann's 13 is doing her release party and listening party here. And then the 27th, well, the 25th, we're doing the poetry thing again. And then the 27th is going to be just a closeout event of the museum, and that's going to be an all-day intake and everything.
Earlier that day, I'm gonna be doing poetry for 3 hours.
And well, when you
So,
come on,
man.
get done, you come over and have some food and listen to some rap music.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
and see a couple of performances and all that. And so wait, Saturday we also have, it's gonna be
And the acoustic cipher gonna be here too.
acoustic cipher, and it's gonna be Hood Raised if he
Yeah,
can get
Hood
off work.
Raised. Yeah, yep. I asked him. He said he gonna be here for that.
He was supposed to be here tonight, but peace to Hood
He said he
Raised.
gonna be here for that
And
one. You know,
she
gonna be here, and then we
unapologetic.
gonna have an open mic. So I know it's a few artists that's tapped in. They say they're gonna come. So it might, that varies and things change, but they've told me they're gonna come. So
Yeah, I might spit something too, man.
we gonna have some MCs. A couple of them I really been wanting you to meet too, man. Like they really doing their thing in the hip hop community, man. I'm talking. So
Cause I feel like I was like the first spoken word rapper in Chicago, but don't nobody want to give me credit for that.
yeah,
Like I remember this club I used to go to when I was like 16. It was called the Wise Fool. It was a pub up on Lincoln and Fullerton, and they would let me in because I was hanging with these white people. You know what I'm saying? And they would let me in because I had a little bitty mustache. I wasn't all hairy, but I had a little mustache. And they would let me in, and they would be playing blues and jazz and all that shit. And I was like, let me rap. And they was like, we don't rap in here. And I was like, okay, I'll do some poetry. And so I took one of my raps and slowed it down real slow for them. And that's when I thought, like I said, I was like 17. This 1987. And I had never met any spoken word artists in Chicago at the time. And so I was like, I'm the first. Because the slam came up after that.
Now I gotta argue with you because Oscar Brown.
I don't know Oscar Brown,
man.
I know Maggie Brown.
Oscar Brown, man.
I hear you. I
Oscar,
hear you,
Oscar
but I'm talking
Brown
about me.
Man, Oscar Brown, he was, if
This the
stay
dude
in Chicago.
This the dude who say the last poets and Gil Scott Heron couldn't
saying,
rap.
I'm just saying.
That's the same dude. You gonna tell me about Oscar Brown?
You're not wrong.
The first Chicago spoken word rapper, I got to say Oscar Brown.
Okay. And on that note, I'm gonna play y'all something. I got a couple people that I wish were here that I could have highlighted, and so I got videos of them. So the first one is gonna be Dr. Groove, and Dr. Groove was the first elder of mine to make a rap record in Chicago, and it was called Super Shock Body Shock, and this was in 1982. And the brother is a spoken word artist that performs in the tunnels of the Red Line and the Green Line and all that. And maybe y'all seen him, maybe y'all haven't. But Ron, can you play that Tired of My Own? And it's kind of low, so you might have to turn the volume up. And in that time, we're gonna make a transition. And in that transition, we're gonna have Orion. And when Orion get done, we're going to have another video, and then when that video is over, we're going to have...
Brother Word.
Yeah.
Anye. I was trying to think of the other name.
Which one? Miguel? Whatever.
Right, I was trying to think.
It's Brother Word.
Brother Word, okay.
That's like Wu-Tang. You know how they had like 9 names?
Yeah. I mean, my name got attribute, all that too. But so, we're going to play this. No, we don't need to be on the screen. You just play the video and mute this out.
What's up with Chili Q? What are you up to?
Hold on. All right, y'all. This is Dr. Groove, and this is a piece that he did. And after that, the next voice you're gonna hear is Orion.
Make sure your sound's coming out.
When my people embrace being vulgar and showing out in public,
might be playing the sound, brother. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not sure why it's not coming out of the speaker. Just tested the speaker.
Is the speaker on?
Yeah, that's why I just tested the
Oh, yeah.
sound. It's coming out.
Oh, brother.
Testing.
That's right. Let me see if I can get it from my TV.
Testing your speakers. It sounds like.
Are you sure the sound on your video is working still?
When my people embrace being vulgar
It's not gonna play.
and showing out in public,
I'm gonna have to figure it out. Can you fill in this space while I figure it out?
Fill in the space.
The time.
Why you figure?
I can't stand the fact that
I do feel like I'm sitting here in a room full of people who have all of these amazing experiences and amazing stories, and I am part of what some might call like the new school, right? Being a younger artist, coming up in this space, having a new set of skills, and then being directly connected to the children of drill. Okay, so the kids I teach now, it was their cousins dying when I was in college, in the streets over on on STLEBT. That's them my students.
Okay.
That's their family, right? And so now they have so much talent, of course, because that's who we are as a people, and they have so many stories to tell. But my generation is recovering from our own traumas and things, trying to inspire this generation coming up, and teach them and tell them and connect with them and show them that you can tell those stories and you can be authentic to your life without having to live that life, right? Sure. And it doesn't have to be a lie, right? We not getting on stage and saying we're done, we've done stuff that we haven't done, but the reality is many of my students have done those things, right? And for those who haven't, they've been affected by those things. And so I want to hear kind of more about how your upbringing and your start with the arts and comedy and poetry and hip hop, how does that even influence the work that you produce now?
I'm gonna show you something real quick.
Okay. Oh wow.
Read that to the people.
Okay. How you say your first name?
Carico.
Carico. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
The teacher in me wanted to say Carico, but I didn't want to say it wrong. Thank you. Carico Sanders, who has satisfactorily pursued the required studies, the degree of Bachelor of Rhymes, this 21st day of May, 1976. Who was this teacher, this principal that gave you a Bachelor of Rhymes?
That's
What's going on here?
That's my kindergarten diploma.
Oh, that's your kindergarten. Oh,
Yeah, that's my kindergarten diploma.
wait a minute. That's not what your kindergarten diploma said.
Close that picture up.
That's what his kindergarten diploma says. And it's it's pretty. He got all the little Dick and Jane post pictures on there and everything. Oh my God! At Wow.
Yeah.
Over in Bronzeville. That Donahue?
Yeah, the 39th and 37th and King Drive.
Yeah.
Cottage Grove. Yeah.
Yeah, right next to what is now Urban Prep Bronzeville.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Wow, a Bachelor of Rhymes. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my long-legged life.
Yeah. And you didn't tell me what year.
I said 1976.
Okay. Oh, you did. Okay.
I said it.
Okay, you see that, brother?
The year of our
Hey, that
Lord,
was a great year.
1976.
Yeah,
A Bachelor of
Great
Rhymes.
Okay.
A beautiful year.
Yes. So, again, I was the only child, and my mom, she just bought me books. Books. Like
That's so important.
I had a bunch of books.
That's so important.
I had
Hey, don't say it. Don't say it like that's like. Cause
No,
I
no.
know a lot of households ain't got a nary a book in there.
No,
And that's a small thing that makes a lifelong difference.
Yes. I felt like I was the only project kid with a whole set of encyclopedias.
Okay.
Like I had a whole set of encyclopedias in my house when I was a shorty, and I got them in 1976. I remember the whole set that I had, and the almanac and I got pictures of me studying, reading the encyclopedia, reading the dictionary, writing rhymes with headphones on, and the atlas sitting right next to me.
I tell my kids all the time, I said, the more you know, the more power you have, man. Like, you want to be a writer, you want to be a rapper, but you tell better stories when you got a better vocabulary, when you have a better understanding of the world, when you got more experiences. If all you know is 71st, baby, you have a short-lived career in this music game, because that's all you're going to talk about. But read a book, tell a story, find some themes, some analogies, some connections. That's what's going to market you across the waters. That's what... I think did we get it?
Yeah, we got it.
We got it, but yeah, nah. Look, you better talk your talk, King.
So I'm gonna tell my story before you start playing the video. Now that y'all done got me in here.
All right now.
So the encyclopedias, the dictionaries. First book I ever read was the Bible. I actually had that was the first book I finished was the Bible. Yeah. And so that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
And that's not a small feat either.
That's all I can
The
say.
first book you finished was the Bible. I'm sure it was KJV, right?
No.
No, you weren't reading KJV?
When I tell the story about the first Bible I read, I really mean the first Bible I read was the Jehovah's Witnesses, my Bible stories.
Okay.
My book of Bible stories.
Right.
The
I
little
feel
orange
you.
book they used to pass out with all the Bible stories in it.
I feel you.
That was the first one.
But then, even that, right?
Then the Bible, I finished the Bible eventually after that because I took the Bible, once I finished that Bible, I wanted to see how much that Bible made sense with the King James Version. So I was reading the Bibles, both of the Bibles back to back. I'm one of those kids. I had to do it. I had to read both of them to see what the difference was.
Who you telling? Same.
All right. So, long story short, my mom was the poet, so she encouraged me writing, singing, recording, taping, recording, all this. I got tapes of the last poets early. Nikki Giovanni early, Gil Scott Heron early. These were before I even knew what rap was. This is I was listening to these guys before I knew what rap was. Then the rap came in the 80s, and I got into bust from Donahue to Oscar Mayer on the north side, which is a school in the heart of DePaul University. Like our school was centered in the middle of DePaul University. And so I remember 7th grade, I look out the window and I could see white women skinny sunbathing outside the window in my I was like, damn, yeah, I'm going to college. And so that was where that grammar school gave me my first introduction to college, actually. And then I got in trouble, and then I went to probation, and they sent me to this counselor, and the counselor was at the Blue Gargoyle, which is located in the University of Chicago campus. And that's when I saw another campus. And then I found out that the Carruthers Center was down the street from my house. So I started hanging out there, and I just started finding hip hop. In high school, I found hip hop, and it just all went up from there.
Yeah.
And I just been a rhymer ever since. I could tell this story, but I'm writing a book, and every time I say something, I feel like I got to go through one of the chapters in the book, and so I could go on for days about this, but I'm not. Y'all gonna have to read the book. Now, play my Dr. Groove, man. This is the brother who mentored me, D.A. Smart, a Cavalier who became Tongue Twister, a whole bunch of people. Dr. Groove is our inspiration, and I just want to give my big brother his flowers while I'm here. So we're going to show his video, and then we're going to go to Orion. And it's going to liven up because Orion going to bring the funk, and then Anye is going to come, and then She.Unapologetic going to be unapologetic. All right?
For sure.
All right? Wake up, man. I know you're tired. Get your ass up. Come on. See? That's Ron's fault, y'all.
People embrace being bald.
Okay.
Hey, we did it. Let me get out your way.
They end up being conversational or something. Wouldn't it be
How long we got?
something loud on the telephone, trying to make up for the attention that they
240.
250,000 words.
Alright, y'all, my phone is about to die.
Back like only 7
Mine's dead.
This guy's in I'm not gonna lie,
big world.
so if you want to hear more,
This is not acting. It just gets next to me. It's pain.
Pull up his screen.
I want to crawl under a rock. I think I'm watching the Twilight Zone. I feel I don't belong. They make me weak when I need to be strong every day. It's an abundantly, redundantly sung song. Though I love them and I'll hug them like sagging pants. Sometimes another side is shown. It's hard to fix my mouth to say, but I get tired of my own. Being ignorant is in fashion. How did this come to be? Mothers get on trains and buses with children, but their telephone gets first priority. Telling their children to shut the F up and giving them a mean look. The child might not even act up if they had their favorite toy or book. Elders do their best to advise young parents, but this famous reply makes us moan. You can't tell me what to do because I'm MFing grown. When I hear that response, I'm not stifled because that statement is not beyond reproach. I simply say, excuse me, young lady. Even Michael Jordan had a coach. Adult, mature, developed. Our words now hard to assign. Some people are indifferent because they choose to sit on what should be called their mind. When you were a child, you thought as a child. Adults place childish things aside. They know that they need room to grow and allow wisdom to be supplied. Are drugs, guns, sex, and disrespect the only reflection of your intellect? Or do you stand for positive things, declaring that life is held in high esteem? Our spirituality is under attack. Our light has been made dim. A thug is defined as a cutthroat and a swindler. No parent takes pride in raising them. Education builds the nation, but our roots suffer from damaged stems. We have to wake up before we break up, and that goes for her or him. Every corner, people want handouts, never working for what they get. They act like you work for them, and then make us upset from their arrogance and disrespect. Yet, no matter how much they're corrupt, I won't give up. And eventually, I'll change my tone. But as of now, I'm fed up, and I'm tired of my own.
So it's catching a fan?
Yeah, whatever the up, something that is.
Sorry.
I think these mics are still on too. Are these mics still on? Are these mics?
Yeah. No.
You still here?
Go ahead, bro. All right, all right. So I'd like to thank the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum uh, for allowing us to be here for National Poetry Month. My name is Orion Metals, uh, nominated for the National Spoken Word Awards in 2023 and now 2024. And so I guess since what we've been talking about the penitentiary and school to prison pipeline. I guess I'll just go ahead and kick this piece, which is entitled Penitentiary Blues, out of my publication Inside the Box. Penitentiary Blues. I wear these on my sleeves. Literally. Penitentiary Blues. I say I wear these on my sleeves. This attire I'm dressed in is an expression of depression. The color depicts the mood of spirit fraction blues. The coat I wear represents the clothes and thrown off. Let me start over. Been a long day. So let me give it another shot. This is Penitentiary Blues. Penitentiary Blues got Inside the Box. Penitentiary Blues. I wear these on my sleeves. Literally. Penitentiary Blues. I say I wear these on my sleeves. This attire I'm dressed in is an expression of depression. The color depicts the mood of a spirit fractured and bruised. These clothes I wear reflect the woes and burden I bear from the utter hopes that's still in the ambience, suppressing my mind. Stressing my mind for a life behind bars like a sentence of death in my mind to see it makes me want to holler and howl like the wolf, howl like the wind, howl like Ginsberg. Penitentiary blues, this angry sorrow and grief I speak upon is not just a figure of speech. See these blues, these speak volumes. Not clamorous, but a melancholic moan like the sound of the trumpet and saxophone as my heart, soul cries, tattooed tears from all the years gone away from the love that was lost and left back at home. And the moments where the heart is, then my heart knows no solace. For my mind is held captive inside this body, imprisoned in these criminal asylum, turning cold like iron, used to shackle of my limbs, and this black hole spiraling downward and making my mind spin. Somebody save me from these muddy waters, I'm starting to drown. Call the time out, because I spent way too many days doing time in. If you could look through my eyes and journey to where my mind's been, to see that my mind beats on the verge breaking for the rest of continual confinement, amongst lost souls submerged in this chaos of violence, breaking like these stripping facts designed to define them, then you will see the depths of my pain, the immensity of these wounds, and trace the tracks of these tears below a heart that's been surfaced and battered and bruised. Penitentiary blues. I wear these on my sleeves. And that's that piece. Thank you, Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum for having me. I'm Orion Meadows. Peace.
Up to your dream. We all have something that makes us want to give up. Looking back on your past, you feeling like you ain't live up to your dreams. It seems things don't want to change. I'm searching for change, breaking the bank for change. Dang, danger produces anger. Not a body tense, the mind stressed. Times get intense, you end up doing less. I guess being the
Now see, come here.
press is a drug that we love, cause we quick to run back to it. I'm back at it, spit poems, inspire cast a rap to it. Every word I spell is a reminder that I don't lack magic. Go gadget, I'm addicted to the lit. Another black addict, taking my hits like an asthmatic's inhaler. Refuse to go a failure. What stones will they throw at you when they nail you to the cross? I'm at the crossroads with other lost souls. I lost pieces to the fire. Devilish desires, regrets and uninspired. Taking account of the weight my stock holds, I hold secrets that the clock told in confidence. I'm confident. I use common sense to rotate from continent to continent. I've been moving and shaking, heart slowly breaking, body is aching, money's being taken, but I can't go. I can't go. I've been moving and shaking, heart slowly breaking, body is aching, money's being taken, but I can't go. I can't go. I ain't been common sense, my spirit bent, went in for the culture. Turn words into sculptures, tattoos, I've been tatted, branded with hope, engaged. Dreams and reality elope, float on a higher plane, and the choir sang. They got me walking a plank, wanna feed me to the sharks. Foot soldiers holding pistols point blank, scared but they playing their part. No room for weakness on balance, fighting the wind is my challenge. Onlookers hanging at their cabins, laughing at my fate. I wake, waging war on this ark, this ship. Man overboard, can't swim with your hand tied, shit. What would my grandma say if I ain't fight? What my daddy die for if I ain't gonna do it right? I can feel this spirits walking with me day and night. I build with my A likes, like-minded. We find it necessary to trust your life with your light. Follow your signs and flow. Synchronize, let your past go and grow. Emphasize your power when you step on the flow. And when you do, will you scold? For sure. I've been moving and shaking, heart slowly breaking, body is aching, money's being taken, but I can't go. I can't go. I can't go. I can't go. I've been moving and shaking, heart slowly breaking, body is aching, money's being taken, but I can't go. I can't go. I can't go.
Hey. Good evening, everybody. My name is Andre Benichet Miguel Davenport. Most people call me Brother Word. I am blessed to be in this space, um, um, the Hip Hop Heritage Museum, and I'm able to kick a piece. I want to share this story with you guys because this is very important. It kind of opened up the piece. You know, I call myself a community captain, working for a community center here, and I was working for this community center, and they wanted us to go. They was having like this Black Arthurs thing on 61st, and we had a crew that set up, and then we had a crew that came and broke down. And I was part of that crew that broke down. And there was a bunch of African people there. And I had walked up to this lady. She was helping us break down the crew. And she said, "Man, bro, what you on?" I said, "I ain't on nothing. I just came to help y'all break down." But I said, "Man, y'all doing books here?" I said, "I should have brought my book." And the lady, she looked at me and she said, "Well, who is you?" I never forget that. And I said, "Well, I'm the roast that grew from concrete." Man, that lady looked at me and she said, "No, you ain't. That's Tupac." And she just shadowed me. You know, she shadowed me. And that's all she said. And so we got to break it down just, and I got thinking about it. I was like, yeah, she right. She right. And then I thought about it. I thought about who I was, who I am. Because she really wanted me to identify with me. I never forgot that day. And so I ran back up to her and I said, "Excuse me, ask me that question again." And she said, "Well, who is you?" And I said, "I'm the ripple in the water that wants to steal." She said, "Yeah, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So this piece right here is a piece about who I am. It's called Kingdom Inspiration. I'm nothing, and yet I'm everything. Those heartfelt words a singer will sing. I'm poetry in motion. Come on, you know those charismatic words of a smooth, free flow. I'm the ripple in the water that once stood still. I'm that train saying, I know I can, and finally getting up the hill. I'm the reason why confident people walk a certain way. A hot Thanksgiving meal, deliciously prepared and on display. I'm a cheerful victory before the game even begins. And beneath your tired wings, I'm that extra source of wind. Ask who I am, and I'll tell you the truth. I'm not Superman, stolen from a phone booth. I'm not God. That would be me faking. If you think you are, you obviously mistaken. It's hard to describe me, but if I must, I'm kingdom of heaven inspiration, manifested in peanut butter flush. Since I live only to please my neighbors, my co-workers, and my mother, my homies, my sisters, and my brothers. That's that piece. Thank you. Should I say another piece? One more piece. Hey, this piece about me. I'm sticking with me. Hey, this is a piece that I did when I was just sitting back, really just examining myself. You know, it comes a time in life where you're going to have to examine yourself. So I have to keep it real. It's called within me. Within me, there are twists and tails, booby traps and snares, and screams. Ah! Sounding off like flares. Within me, there's no need to move too soon. For the fear of the return of ghostly grooms, still hiding out within my hidden tombs. Within me resides a giant. Within me resides a giant. Within me resides a giant lust, whose only pleasure is to please my flush. And they keep telling me these feelings I must. Within me, always compelled to get out, is that dreadful spirit called doubt. Within me, a battle is constantly being fought. Within me resides a giant size. Within me resides a giant size desire to increase God's unspeakable peace and a whole lot of love just waiting to be released. You see, most people only see the outside of me, which continues to be the mystery. They see my height, my skin color, and my eyes. But the me within continues to be the element of surprise. Thank you. That's that piece. Love what I do. Do what I love. How? I'm good. Yeah, K-Love. Right.
Praise. I am my mother's redemption. My skin is rich. I got that $1 million melanin. I'm talking about the deep chocolate that the prophets be dreaming about selling in. Every element is elegant, it's effortless, no need for embellishment. I'm coated in a coat of coal and my black hole be black gold. Black.
So
bold.
we'll see her
No
stop.
lighting on my photo. No, make it dark. Naked like tree bark, and yes, my bite is vicious, but please don't compare me to no bad bitches. I'm indigenous. Caroline. No need for the rubber line, no silly con in my tush. I'm cute in my kush. I'm the aftermath of the burning bush. You see me every time you close your eyes and make a wish. I'm that dark licorice, that dark liquor, Miss Natural. No Remy, my hair natural. No Remy or Yaki. I get happy when they call me Nappy or Blackie. Cause wearing nothing at all, I be the belle of the ball wherever I fall. While they steady hacking, they lacking self-confidence. That's why I look right at them and tell them, yep, dark and lovely. Nothing of me ugly. The sun loves me. My sons love me. I'm the same color of the streets they be hugging, cause I understand them and understand them both ways. I cause the dark age and I'm black power and so much more, and that's more spelled with 2 O's and no E. And if you know anything about me, you already know a sister like me, baby. I put that hue in Huey P. I was the inspiration for the activists, the blackest fist, yelling F with a pigment, they effing with my pigment. I'm the tintype, the inner light, the dimmer daughter. True story. I wrote this poem for my great-grandmother who used to put bleach in her grandbaby's bath water. She told my mother to scrub harder, hoping that her black would come off maybe. Self-hatred is crazy. They call my mama a tar baby, but I'm that star baby. The morning star made me, Oshun made me well done. And well done again. That's why I say kudos to my kin for making sure I was proud of my skin tone, so I never got hung up on any Willie Lynch syndrome. You're read wrong. I'm confident. Headstrong. I got nothing but love for my sisters they call Redbone. I'm just a black stallion that be styling, and I be dressing like I own 1,000 islands. Listen, I told you. They asked me what I do and who I do it for. I told them another true story. I do it for the woman that told my mother when she was 11 that she was too dark to wear those sterling silver earrings she just got. 11 years old, my mother walks into a corner store feeling as pretty as can be, and the lady behind the counter starts laughing. And then she calls the lady in the back. She said, come here, look at this. And they laugh together, and my mother says, well, what are y'all laughing at? She said, girl, as dark as you are, you got the nerve to have on those sterling silver earrings? We have to be careful what we say to children. I do it for the woman that told my mother when she was 11 that she was too dark to rock those sterling silver earrings she just got. See, my mother grew up with skin that was Cajun in an age when, to be considered beautiful, you had to resemble a Caucasian. Crazy how somebody's conversation consecrated my mother's color complex, coded in their context, but somebody should have gave their ass context. Because last I checked, every color goes with black. As a matter of fact, every now and again, like tonight, I put on some red lipstick. And I do it for the idiot that said it doesn't blend well with dark skin. Oh, but he gets lost in the heat of the evening. Every time he sees me wearing it at an even, he's heated and fiending for Hershey's kisses. He heard she kisses like strawberries covered in silhouettes. I'm secure in my shadow, nothing but teeth and eyes. I'm the tea kettle, the black widow, divorce and beauty, European eyes. They ask me what I do and who I do it for. I told them another true story. I do it for my little chocolate covered mentees. Little girls I mentor in Chicago, draped in the same rich skin as me. But for some reason, this one felt empty, and that's when I told her, baby girl, don't you know your skin? That's your inheritance. You're wearing it. It's staring you in the mirror, but she was taught to fear her, told that she was inferior, so of course, this little dark-skinned girl wanted to be light. This little dark-skinned girl wanted to be light. This little dark-skinned girl wanted to be light, and I looked right at her and I told her, baby girl, don't you know light is exactly what you were made of? You're what's produced when shooting stars get together and make love. God made us black. That's all the colors of the spectrum. God made us black. Black woman gave birth to all the colors of the spectrum. That's why I never disrespect them. That's why I stay checking this bag. I already told y'all. My skin is rich. I got that $1 million melanin. I'm talking about the deep chocolate the prophets still dreaming about selling in. Every element is elegant, it's effortless, no need for embellishment. I'm posted in the middle of the African flag with my African ass, and I'm so glad about being black.
Contrary to popular belief, I am not a poet. I don't spit bars, rhymes, or flows. Don't syncopate syllogisms to silence silly serpents. No, I am a soothsayer. Invincible, insensible, serving game of true players. 2 layers, flesh matters, but the spirit is eternal, and so are me. And so are me. I am not a poet. When I write, I incite sight to blind minds. My words make men kind. You can look high and low, and I swear you'll never find one greater than the divine in me. 3, I am in we together reincarnate the relationship between mother and son. To the sun we run, for we are not afraid of the light, even though we are the dark in us alone. Both never cease to exist. So when I raise my fist in black power, I'm just warning you that my energy is electric. Let it shock you, rock you in the rock you in the rhythm of my bosom and womb, and my loving arms feed you off the fat of my breast, the best milk for miles, but here's for the meat. Niggas think it's sweet when the revolution comes, worried about bundles to keep us comfortable and shoes to help us run, but we standing still as the day is long, branches strong because we feed our roots, forever bearing fruit to feed even our enemies, uncovered our thoughts to let our minds breathe, been braided up the wrong shit for way too long, and now your temples are weak and the insecurities be strong. But now we sing a new song. We yell, arm yourselves, protect your temple, and for your own sake, grow your own, please. Sow your own seeds, and you can receive that however you want to, but hit dog barking, baby, I'm talking about you. See, I told you I'm not a poet. I'm a soldier. I stay strapped with 22 verses. I put ignorance in hearses. I leave you slain in your silliness like heretical preachers in churches. My tongue is a bomb. My hands reversible grenades. See, I impose civil war. And baby, I freed the slaves. I have the power to produce life while bringing death to your tears. I embrace your anger while comforting your fears. So if you see me, you better run. Or embrace me with cheers, because the revolution's no longer come, baby. The revolution's right here. See, I told you I'm not a poet. And as an educator, I do not condone violence, but I deeply loathe silence. So if you are a poet, open your mouth and do something. Thank you. That's my first poem. It's a piece called I Am Not a Poet. Because I think as we write, we shouldn't just think of ourselves as just writing in this vein. No matter what it is that you write, no matter what it is that you produce, it doesn't matter if you're a carpenter or a bricklayer. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse. It doesn't matter if you're a preacher or a teacher or an HVAC technician. You are a creator. You were made. You were made to create. And so if you're free this Saturday, I would love to see you here at the Chicago Hip Hop Museum for an open mic. It's going to be a blast, y'all. And like I said, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, no matter what history or background, what you went to, in this space, you are a creator. And we would love to see some of the things that you create. So even though I'm not a poet,
I typically tell the people I'm a writer, a transcriber, with a well so deep your ass would drown. Trying to take a dive, you are used to shallow waters. A little sprinkle of knowledge, so bring your man to the altar, baby. I'll baptize you. I'll make you holy. Take the broken pieces of your life, reconstruct them. Yes, I'll make you whole. See, some people tend to think I'm new to the game. I'm 15 years in this thing, maybe 20. Couldn't walk in my full purpose till my father gave it to me. My mama say I'm smart as fuck, but my shit go dumb. I be walking around here humble because I know where my gifts come from. With these words, I be killing, a verbal villain. I'm so 87 from cinemas to St. Killian, and I don't do slams. My only competition is me, never you. It's not what I'm into. Battling for titles when I'm trying to uplift you. Ain't gotta crown me. I'm a queen on my own. I'm more precious than rubies, and I'm worth my weight in gold. I've never been chicken, and I don't cluck with hens. I'm every man's best friend. I'm a dog with this pen. I said, bitch, I'm a writer, not just an open mic. I teach them kids every day. I get paid to inspire. Addicted to flow, got you itching for more. Then a lyrical blow, my shit make you hyper. We get lit. That's fire. You think you want smoke with me? Baby, I'll get you higher. I'll be your syntax supplier. No repetition required. I'm clocking into my purpose and I don't plan to retire. How many books you got? Maybe 3, maybe 4. I got an ace in my hand and a spade in a hole, and I'm coming back for everything that he thought he stole. You wait for opportunity to knock. I'm kicking down the fucking door. Creativity ready to pop like a pimple. They ask, Sabrina, how do you stay so confident? Baby, it's simple. Seldom do silly simpletons sully my status up when they step stupidly, simply, surely seeking self-sabotage. Speaking so senselessly, still strikingly sick, but see, I'm still sanctified, solely holy. Salute to God. My greatest success is making them suck less. Free signs of you suppressed, shine bright in a sundress. Still seeing them folks press, still making you less stressed, still solid and too blessed, still seem to be obsessed. Sages seek satin, stuck safely inside my sternum. Simple synonyms for summer solstice be suffering, support, and sanctuary. So when solidity diffuses over safe space, I'm left solely soaring. So I strive, and I also happen to sing. I salute you, motherfucking queen. My name is She.Unapologetic. Thank you.
Great job. What up, y'all? So tonight we were able to celebrate National Poetry Month. We've had Orion, we've had Anya, and we had She's Unapologetic. And they will be here Saturday to celebrate with us as we kick off our first old school open mic poetry set. And I just couldn't let Mike be on without me saying something. And so this is something I did years ago. I grew up in a Cooley-High environment with a warrior's mentality. Hustling and compensating for mama's welfare salary. I lived a life control thing, walk my way, avoid danger, combat depression, battle through awful expression. I'm destined to express my illness, whether you hate this or feel this. I'm a low-end resident residing in the county of Cook. Causes looks of hesitation, detours from incarceration, raised by an organized nation where each reads to teach another. In Daly's concentration camp to smother, I utilize my animal instincts, conquering the risk of extinction, believing as long as K-Rock lives MCs, there be at least one. So, completion of recess, time over for foolishness.
Biz niggas turn traitorous like snakes from lands of emptiness. Head cracked like eggs, legs broken, toll roads explode open. Catch me smiling while you're choking with a noose around your Adam's apple for commercializing drugs, guns, red rum like Snapple. We got more niggas trying to win raffles than receiving a tassel. We got recurring nightmare hassles, welfare hassle when 3833 was my closest castle. On the other side was Mousie Beneficent for the love of my art. My pockets remain penniless. Remain streetwise, devise a plan despite the lies designed to conspire to divide. Check the signs applied. Love, life, loyalty. Show loyalty to the niggas that show loyalty to me. Never, never flaunt my knot. Never hide my spot. And see, this is how it ends to be. This is how it tends to be. This is what it means to be. See, the mic was my gift, my tool. I use it as my golden rule. It gives me life that I share because I care. Caring is sharing. And I'm daring you to do the same. Share love to everybody that you meet. And that's that piece. Yeah! Now, I can do this. No, thank y'all. I really like to thank my wonderful friends and guests. And I look for a long, friendly relationship and a constructive relationship of artistry with these guys. Again, come check us out this Saturday here at the museum, 4505 South Indiana. We will be doing our open mic poetry set downstairs. And then on the 20th, we got NX13, our regular release party. And then on the 27th, we closing out, y'all. So that's it. I thank my man Ron Rilla for handling the board back there. And I say good night, peace, love, and go write something.